Hey guys, Brandon Gomez here, back again with another video, and welcome to Rating Every 2022 Patriotic Scheme Extras. When I was searching for all the patriotics that I missed, I had to make a few judgment calls along the way, because I couldn't tell whether some paint schemes were patriotics or not. So, yeah. So if there are some paint schemes that are not included in this video, then that's why. But anyway, this intro has already gone on long enough, so without further ado, let's get into it. To start off, we have Spencer Boyd's Record Rack Bucks for the Brave paint scheme. This looks really cool. I like the design on this. You have the blue with the stars at the front of the truck on the nose, and then white, red, white. That's a really cool design. 8 out of 10. Next up, we have Jack Woods' Chevrolet Military Appreciation paint scheme. It's a simple design, but I actually kind of like it. You have the blue at the front, the red in the middle, and the white at the back. And then in between, you have more white. Good design. 6 out of 10. Some people might not consider this a patriotic, but it's a Texas-themed paint scheme running at Coda, which is in Texas. So I'll count it as a patriotic. This is Samuel Lecomte's Mission Foods paint scheme. I like the design on this one. You have a blue base color, a backwards Texas flag at the front of the truck, and a forward Texas flag at the back of the truck. I like that design. 7 out of 10. Same goes for this one. It's a Texas-themed paint scheme running at Coda in Texas. So I'll count it as a patriotic. This is John Atwell's Mission Foods paint scheme. It's decent, but not as good as Lecomte's truck, because his scheme had a blue base color, and it worked with the Texan flags, because the part where the star is at is also blue. Atwell's truck has a red base color, and it just doesn't go as well with the Texan flags. It's decent, but not as good as Lecomte's truck. 6 out of 10. Next up, we have Sheldon Creed's National Fallen Firefighters Foundation paint scheme that he ran at the Charlotte Roval. This has a pretty good design. It's got black at the front, red at the back, with a gold lining separating the two, and then you have stars and stripes in the black and red, respectively. That's a really cool design. 8 out of 10. Next up, we have Austin Hill's United Rentals paint scheme. This honestly just looks lazy to me. You have a white base color with a blue stripe going down the middle with 3 stars. That's just a lazy design. 4 out of 10. Up next, we have Santino Ferrucci's Freedom Alliance paint scheme. I dig the design on this one. You got red, white, and blue, although you have more blue and white than you do red, but whatever. You have stars and a bald eagle on the side. Doesn't get more American than that. Freedom out of 10. Next up, we have Kyle Sieg's Patriotic. This originally had sponsorship from toppools.com. However, for this race, they didn't have a sponsor, but they decided to keep the paint scheme. Taking that into consideration, I will give them flack for the design. I'll go in the middle and give it a 5 out of 10. This scheme does have a sponsor, so I'll go all in on it. This is Jesse Abuji's Coke Zero Sugar paint scheme. The only thing that's really patriotic about this is the stars all around the paint scheme. Lazy design, but the paint scheme itself is decent enough. I'll go in the middle again and give it a 5 out of 10. Next up, we have Ryan Ellis's Four Loko paint scheme. This design is funky, and I like it. It looks really good. You have a bald eagle You have a light blue, interesting choice, with stars, and then you got like white and red camo. A white and red camo design in the middle. Funky design. I like it a lot. I'll give it a 10 out of 10. Next up, we have Howie D Savino III's Travis Mills Foundation paint scheme. Simple design, but I like it. You have blue at the front, red on the roof, white at the back, on the side, going to the front, and then you have red swooshes in the middle as well. Simple design, and I like it. 7 out of 10. Another case of a Texas-themed paint scheme being run at Coda in Texas. This is Josh Bilicki's Builder's Outlet Superstore paint scheme. I don't dig this design. I think it's mid. 5 out of 10. Next up, we have Jeremy Clemente's Flying Form Concrete Structures paint scheme. All this paint scheme is just the American flag. And I love that. 10 out of 10. Next up, we have Brandon Brown's paint scheme that he ran for a few races at the beginning of the season. This was originally going to be his LGB coin car, but that sponsor got rejected by NASCAR, and I guess they decided to keep the paint scheme. This is another case of an unsponsored car, so I'll go in the middle and give it a 5 out of 10. Next up, we have Colleague Racing's Freedom by Ed Morse paint scheme. This has a cool design. You have blue at the front going to the middle, red stripes in the middle going to the back, and white at the back. And then all across the side of the car, you have stars. That's a cool design. 6 out of 10. Next up, we have Ty Dillon's Chevrolet Military Appreciation paint scheme. I'm honestly not quite sure how to feel about this one. You have blue at the front with the stars. That's a pretty common theme in this video. Blue with stars. And then you have white on the rest of the scheme with gold stripes on the bottom. I get that they have the gold there because of Chevrolet, but they could have done a better job with this paint scheme. I'm not digging it. 4 out of 10. And for our final patriotic, we have Bubba Wallace's Root Insurance paint scheme. The same paint scheme that he won with at Kansas. I don't like this one. It's blue for the most part, and then you have white with red stripes. I don't know what they were thinking when they came up with this paint scheme design, but it looks like crap. 3 out of 10. And with that, every patriotic scheme, for the most part, that's been run this year has been given its proper rating. What do you think? Do you think some of these should have been given a higher rating? Do you think some should have been given a lower rating? How would you rate these patriotics? Let me know in the comments below. If you want to see more of me, be sure to follow me on Instagram and join my Discord server. Links to both are in the description down below. Leave a like on the video and subscribe to my channel for more motorsports content. Thank you all so much for watching. That's it from me. Peace.